How does he figure all this? Because Satan is his daddy. He got all this knowledge from there. But not German engineering. Listen, T-Man is sitting literally on Satan's lap. You understand? But that's why he's the wisest of all the white men. The Germans, they are wiser than all the rest of white people. They are the ones that are actually, technologically, they've actually put the white man in the forefront. Whether it's medicine, whether it's engineering, it doesn't matter what it is. They are the ones in the forefront. Because Satan is dealing with them directly. Read.
They were children of fools.
They are children of fools. Go ahead.
Yea, children of base men.
These are children of base men. Read.
They were viler than the earth.
They are the worst people on this earth. The worst creatures on this earth. The Lord says this is them. Go ahead.
And now am I their song?
And now we are their song.
Yea, I am their byword.
Now we are their byword. That's why they call us darkies, scoffers, niggers and spics and whatnot. Now we are at their byword. They are calling us outside of God's given names. They don't say we are Judah. They say Umsotu. They don't say you are Judah. They say Umuperi. They don't say you are Ephraim. They say no. You are Cuban. You understand? They don't say you are from the tribe of Issachar. They say no. You are a Mexican. You're not gonna find none of those names up in here, man. Because they change our names so that they don't have to be reminded of who we are. That's why, because if they were to call us Jews, Judah, they say, hey, those are Judites over there. Those are Levites over there. It will always be a reminder of who these people are. They say, no, change their names. Call them Kosas. You understand? So they don't remember that they are the Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Because if they called us like that, of course we would remember. You understand that? Understand that. Okay, do we have it? Is the people seeing it online? Yeah, transition it. I want the people to see this. Okay. Now, I want you to open the picture. Do you see it, Solonium? Okay, click that. Open it up. Now, click the picture. That's all I want. You zoom it in. The thing I want is that picture. No, not that one. The previous one. Yeah, can we zoom that in? Or you can download it, Musne. Yeah, let's download that picture. I want you to see what the white men did. You give me 1 Maccabees 3:48. Because these are the Vikings, man. The Vikings were black people. Don't be fooled, brothers and sisters. We just read the history of the Dark Ages right here in the book of Job. That the white man was not there during that time. He was in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. How was he in Scandinavia during those days? Yes, zoom in. Yes. Now, do you see these men? Look at these men wearing helmets and they have swords and they have shields. Look at their faces. You see what the white man was doing? The white man was whitewashing their images, man. Look at their faces. Do you see that? He did a terrible job at whitewashing them. Okay, move the cursor so they can see the heads of the people. There. You see the heads of the people? You see what the white man was doing? He was changing the faces of our forefathers, man. The Vikings. You see what he's doing? Look at the faces, man. He was basically using a whitewashing tool to remove color from these pictures. Look at their faces, man. You see that? Look at them. These are black men going to war and they are on a ship. Zoom out so they can see the ship, the Viking ship. There. These are the Vikings. This is 1100s. Where was the white man during the 1100s? You understand? So the Vikings were black people. Now go to the next picture. I'm going to show you what he did there. They did not even hide this. Go to the next picture on that website. I want the people to see it. Yeah, look at that. Do you see this? That's some serious whitewashing, man. Who looks like that? Which people on this earth, they look like that? Nobody looks like that, man. Nobody looks like that. 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 Nobody loo What was these people wearing? Because an artist had to sit down to draw the dress code of the people and the color of the people wearing the dress code. But look at what those people, what are they wearing? The white man was changing the images, man. Give me First Maccabees 3 verse 48.
First book of Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48.
Come on.
And they laid open the book of the law,
Read.
wherein the heathen
The white man, the Greeks, come on.
had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
You see that they sought to paint the likeness of their image. It's called iconoclasm. We've got two-part series online where we go deep into details about iconoclasm. You can watch that class those classes on your own. But we go deep into that. Now, give me Sirach 25 verse 7. I just wanted to show you that, man.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7.
Watch this.
There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy.
Go ahead. He says, these things I have judged in my heart to be happy. They make me happy. Watch this. Go ahead.
And the 10th I will utter with my tongue.
He says, but the 10th I'm going to utter them with my tongue. Watch this. Come on.
A man that has joy of his children.
A man that have joy of his children, he says, I'm going to utter that one with my tongue. I'm going to say it out loud. Read.
And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
You see that thing right there? And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. We want to live to see the fall of our enemies. We want to see our enemies fall, and we want them to see us seeing them fall. You understand that? Read.
Well is him that...
Okay, that's it on that. That's something different now. That's for next week, Lord's will. When we go over the men. We deal with the men, manning up part 2. You understand? Read that again, verse 7.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7.
Go ahead.
There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy.
Read.
And the 10th I will utter with my tongue.
Come on.
A man... What did you say? A man that has joy of his children.
A man that have joy of his children.
And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
And he that lived to see the fall of his enemies. You understand? And guess what? We are all observing the feast of the Passover. Guess what? We live to see the fall of our enemies during those days. We saw them drown in the Red Sea. You understand? We live to see the fall of our enemies during those days. You think we don't want to live to see the fall of our enemies in these last days? We want to see the same thing happen again. You understand? Now, give me Sirach 39 verse 28. Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 28. Sirach 39 verse 28. Listen good.
Yes, sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Read.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
He says there are spirits that are created for vengeance. Read.
Which in their fury.
In their what?
In their fury.
In their anger, great anger. Read.
Lay on sore strokes.
They lay on sore strokes. Come on.
In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
They pour out their force. In the time of what?
In the time of destruction.
In the time of destruction. The name of the class is called what? Destruction, death, and what? And deliverance. Come on.
They pour out their force.
They do what?
They pour out their force.
Read.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
And appease the wrath of him that made them. Who's the one that made them? The Most High God of heaven and earth. When the spirits that are created for vengeance, they bring forth vengeance, they appease the Most High. They please the Heavenly Father of heaven and earth. Read again. Verse 28.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Read.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
They pour out their force. Come on.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
And appease the wrath of him that made them. Hey, let's get those images, man, from Time Life books. Come on, Soldier John. I want those books. I want those images. I want us to go into the book now. You understand? I want to go into the plagues, because what we read in here when it says spirits, these are going into plagues. These plagues, the plagues in Egypt, they were created for vengeance against the Egyptians that oppressed us. You understand? Give me that in Exodus 11 verse 7. Come on.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7.
Read.
But against any of the children of Israel
Against any of the children of Israel
shall not a dog move his tongue.
shall not a dog move his tongue. You see, our enemies are dogs to us, the Israelites. Read.
Against man or beast, that he may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
You see that the Lord put a difference between the Bantus and Hamites. Let's explain it like that. The Lord put a difference between the Israelites, the Bantus, and the Hamites. You understand? Now, while you're doing that, look up the Tutsis of Rwanda. Tutsis of Rwanda. You understand? You'll see how tall they are. We listen, I'm going to show you the people that enslaved us during the time of Egypt. You understand? (1300 BC). 1300 BC. That's during that time. 1300 BC. Of course, they're going to show us the Rwandan genocide. Because what? They're feeling sympathy for the Tutsis? No. The Tutsis were the ones that actually were killing the Hutus. You understand? You know, show Tutsi here, say Tutsi with Belgium. Tutsis and Belgium. Belgium. No, Tutsi. Yeah, Tutsis. Yeah, that's fine. Tutsis. You can see them properly. No. Or just say that, tall Tutsis. Yeah, just look up that. Tall Tutsis. Yes, show those ones on the left. Do they show? Or they are not like us? Yeah, these are Tutsis. These are the people that enslaved us during the time of Egypt, man. These are ancient Egyptians. You understand? Now look up the other ones. Yeah, or just look up Paul Kagame. Show Paul Kagame, because he's a Tutsi. Read that Exodus 11 verse 7 again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7.
You see, this is a Tutsi. He's a Tutsi. That's not a Hutu. That's a Tutsi. Okay? His forefather is the ancient Egyptians. The pharaohs. Amos the first. Ramses the second. You understand? Amenhotep. Hatshepsut. That's them. You see him and his, you see the children? Is it them right there? Yeah, that's them, Muslim. Yeah, that one is fine too. Now show the Kikuyu tribes of Kenya. The Kikuyu tribes. So is the people seeing this online? Okay, oh please. Yep. You see that? Yes. Yes, that one. That's it right there. These are Tutsis. You understand? These are Hamites. Let's put it that way. These are Hamites. They're ancient Egyptians. Okay? Yeah, this is them. Show the ones that put their lip on their, or like a plate on their lip. Plate on a lip. Why is it in bold letters? No, don't say Kikuyu tab. Just say plate on lip. Yes. You see, this is them. These are Hamites. Yep, this is them, right? These are Hamites here. You see what? You see that? That's them. Yeah, that. Stop right there. This is them. You understand? That's them. These are Hamites. Now read Exodus 11 verse 7 again. Did we upload the pictures? Now read the Bible.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7.
Come on.
But against any of the children of Israel
Read.
shall not a dog move his tongue.
A dog move his tongue. So the Lord when he says shall not a dog move his tongue, he's talking about these Hamites. Go ahead.
Against man or beast,
Read.
that he may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
You see that? We are not the same, man. We are not the same people, man. We are not the same. Understand that? So there's a difference between Bantus and Hamites. We are not the same. Understand that? Okay, now, do we have page? Now go to the book now. You understand? Page 51. Do we have page 51? Okay, where's the laptop? Because I cannot see what I'm reading, Musne. Yeah, but I want the people to see the title of the book, where we're reading from. Go back to Sirach 39 verse 28. I'm going to be going over the plagues of Egypt so you understand. I want you men to ready the pictures so we can go over them. Yeah, put it here. Let me see. Okay, I've just put it here. Because I want to be able to see what we're reading, man. Okay, now give me the book so I can see where we're reading from. Come on. Give me the book. Okay, did you put the book up? Brothers and sisters, this is the book we're reading from. Because I realized that when I was showing the books, you know, I made the book, I was showing the people in the audience, not realizing that the camera only saw half of the book. I saw it when I was watching the replay, man. I'm like, yo, this is the book. The book is called The Israelites by Time Life Books. Okay, we're going to go to page 51. Okay, do the people see that online? Yeah, read that. Sirach 39, verse 28.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Come on.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
That's what we need to understand. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Come on.
Which in their fury.
In their what?
In their fury.
Read.
Lay on sore strokes.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of destruction. they pour out their force
Read.
and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Come on.
Fire and hail
Fire and hail.
and famine.
Because the Lord sent locusts up there. Remember, even during the time of Joseph, there was a famine in Egypt. Who sent the famine? The spirits that were created for vengeance. Read.
and death.
And what?
And death.
Because that's what these are the things that was happening in Egypt. Fire, hail, famine, death. Go ahead.
All these were created for vengeance.
All these spirits were created for vengeance. Fire is a spirit, hail is a spirit. You understand? Famine and death, those are spirits that are created for vengeance by the Most High God of heaven and earth. Okay, come on.
Teeth of wild beasts.
Teeth of wild beasts.
And scorpions. Serpents.
Read.
And the sword. Punishing the wicked to destruction.
You see that? Destruction, death, and deliverance. Understand that? Now let's read the book. We got it now? Okay. Now show the people online. Read the title of the book.
The title of the book, The Israelites.
By Time Life Books.
By Time Life Books.
Let's go to page 51. I want you to read the highlighted part in pink.
Page 51.
Come on.
The turning point in the history of the Israelites was reached not in the promised land, but during the desert journey to Canaan from Egypt.
From where?
From Egypt.
Where we were slaves for 400 years. Come on.
Where, according to biblical tradition, they had been enslaved for generations.
They've been enslaved for how long?
For generations.
I'm going to show you how long we were enslaved. Hold this. Give me the book of Genesis real quick. When the Lord was talking to our forefathers, what would happen? Genesis 15, read verse 12. When our forefather Abraham, the Lord put him in a trance. Watch this. You understand? He fell in a deep sleep, and guess what? The Lord gave him a vision, showed him a vision. Watch this. Not a trance, but a vision. Watch this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 12.
Come on.
And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, and a horror of great darkness fell upon him.
Read.
And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety.
Know of a surety for a fact. Know for a fact. Come on.
That thy seed.
That thy seed.
Shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
Read.
And shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years.
They shall serve, and we will be afflicted 400 what?
400 years.
Read.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
You see that? It says that nation that we're going to serve, the Lord is going to judge them. So we're going to read about the judgment of that nation that enslaved us for 400 years in Egypt. Okay? Now go back to the book. Read that again.
The turning point in the history of the Israelites was reached not in the promised land, but during the desert journey to Canaan from Egypt.
Go ahead. Where we were slaves. Come on.
Where, according to biblical tradition, they had been enslaved for generations.
400 years. Go ahead.
The Exodus itself, under the inspiration and leadership of Moses,
Read.
signaled the Israelites' deliverance from oppression by foreign masters.
The Egyptians. Come on.
A pivotal miracle wrought. They believed by the God of their fathers.
The Most High God of heaven and earth. So now let's get the Exodus timeline. Go to page 10 in the same book. Page 10. Yes. Did the people see it online? Okay, let's transition this thing. Put it up so the people can see it. Do they see it? Okay, now read that, the first highlighted part. What does it say? That part right there on the top is an Israelite what?
An Israelite chronology.
An Israelite chronology. Okay, come on. Read the highlighted part.
See, 1300 BC.
That's 1300 BC. 1300, 1300 years before Christ. Go ahead.
Period of bondage in Egypt.
The period of bondage in Egypt. Okay, come on.
1225 BC.
1225 BC.
Exodus from Egypt through desert wilderness.
You see that 1225 BC is approximately around that time. 1225 BC, that was the Exodus. You understand? That was the Exodus. Okay, now let's go back. Go to page 51. Now read the highlighted part in orange. Read that. And show the picture on the left, because I don't think, did you take this picture on the left? Okay, we want the picture on the left. Do we have that picture? Moses and the 12 patriarchs. 12 principal men. Now read that. The highlighted part. Do the people see it online? Okay, let's go.
Painted in the 3rd century AD.
3rd century AD, come on.
This fresco, more than 4 feet high.
How long?
More than 4 feet high.
It says this fresco was more than 4 feet high. Read.
Dramatizes a traditional view of Moses' God-given power.
Because Moses had powers. Moses had powers, man. Go ahead.
Miraculously creating a well in the desert. He provides water for 12 tribesmen.
12 tribesmen. This is the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
Who, exhausted by the flight from
By
Egypt.
the what?
By the flight.
You see, when we left Egypt, we ran. When we left Egypt by the flight from Egypt, we were on the run. You understand? Read.
Exhausted by the flight from Egypt, had lost confidence that he would save them. The work was discovered.
The work was what?
The work was discovered.
It says this work, this picture, this fresco that is 4 feet high. It says it was discovered. Wait a minute. Discovered. That means that they were destroying our images, our history, man.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Go ahead. You can put it here. Read.
The work was discovered on the wall of a synagogue.
From the what?
On the wall of a synagogue in the Jura
in Duro-Europus.
in Jura-Europus,
Read.
an ancient city in the river Euphrates in Syria.
You see that? Duro-Europe. This is in Syria. It says this fresco is 4 feet high.
Sir.
You understand? We made sure that our people understood what was going on. Now, what I want you to see is the picture on the left. Do we have it? Show the people the picture on the left. That's the picture, man. You see? Now count the 12 tribesmen. Count them around Moses. How many did you count?
He skipped one, sir. Yes, sir, at the bottom. 4, 5.
Go ahead. You see, those are the 12 tribesmen. You see around that, all praises to the Most High. So that's the picture that is 4 feet high. You understand? Now that's Moses right there. Now, watch this. Go to page 52 now. No, same page. You're going to read the highlighted part at the bottom in pink. You're going to read that. What do you need? So I want pay. Yeah, that part right there. Now read that.
The biblical account.
Hold on. The people online see this, right? All praises. Come on.
The biblical account of this next phase of the Israelites' history is told in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, taking up the tale where Genesis leaves off.
Yes, he's taking up the tale where Genesis leaves off. Go ahead.
The sons of the
patriarchs. Now go to the next page. Page 53. Yes. Yeah, that part right there, the corner there. Just zoom in on the left. Yeah, the one on the left. You can just move the cursor so that the people can see. Yes. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's it right there. Now read that. Of the 12 of the patriarchs.
The sons of the patriarch Jacob,
Who
was renamed Israel,
in Genesis the 32nd chapter. Go ahead.
are settled in Egypt,
They are settled in Egypt.
where They had gone to escape a disastrous famine in Canaan.
You see that? Read.
The Egyptians enslaved their descendants.
He said the Egyptian enslaved the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
Who eventually depart from Egypt and receive the 10 commandments from Yahweh,
That's the Most High God. Come on.
as well as in time an elaborate corpus of their laws by
Of
which
other laws.
apologies, sir, an elaborate corpus of other laws by which to live.
Uh-huh.
They ultimately arrive after a traveled field journey through the desert wilderness
That's the wilderness. Come on.
at the threshold of the land of Canaan. At the close of these 4 books, the 12 tribes stand assembled on the hills overlooking the Jordan Valley, ready to move in and settle down on the land promised their forefathers.
Now watch this. Keep reading. Watch the next part of that. Look at the next paragraph. Listen to what it says. Come on.
The human hero
The human hero.
in all the stories that fill this sequence in Moses
Is Moses.
is Moses.
Read that thing again. Come
Yes,
on,
sir.
man. Pay
Apologies,
attention.
sir. The human hero in all the stories that fill the sequence is Moses, reputedly a great-grandson of the patriarch Jacob's son, Levi.
You see that? So now you see when they're saying they says what it says to fill it, the sequence is Moses. It says the human hero. Moses was a superhero. He wasn't a human hero. What the hell is a human hero? He was a superhero. You understand? He was an avenger. Understand that? Go ahead.
According to the legend,
It's not the legend according to the Bible. Where would they get this from, man, if they didn't read the Bible? They say according to the legends. Like this is some story that didn't happen. What you talking about according? The white man is the devil, man. He says according to the legend. What legend? According to the Bible. Read.
according to the legend surrounding his life, Moses was born in Egypt.
Where did they get this? Where did they get this from? Because they got it from the Bible. They say according to the legends. Read.
Moses was born in Egypt at a time when Pharaoh, alarmed by the rate at which the Israelite population was increasing, decreed that.
Okay, come on, move it a little bit.
Decreed that when every newborn Israelite son be drowned in the Nile.
You see, so Pharaoh commanded that every Israelite child must be drowned in the Nile that is born. If it's a boy, kill them. You understand? If it's a girl, leave them alive. Because Pharaoh was already pushing feminism during this time. He was already pushing feminism, man, among the 12 tribes of Israel when we were slaves in Egypt. He was already deprioritizing black men and prioritizing black women, like the white man is doing today in spiritual Egypt, where the black woman is in front of the black man and the black man is holding a baby, while the black woman has her hands in her pocket with a cigarette in her mouth. That's what's going on today, man. I see black men holding women's handbags. I mean, what the hell is this? Sister, you bought your handbag, you carry it. Why must I be carrying your handbag? But that's what's going on today. Now, watch this. Go to page 55. Page 55. Let's go there. According to legends. Yes, man. Where we at? Page 55. I want to go to page 55. We're going to go to the plagues, but I'm taking you through the history. You understand? The same history that they say according to legends, but they got it from the Bible. But they say according to legends. And the name of the book is called the Israelites. Where did they get that from? The legends too? Yo. Yeah, zoom in on that so the people may see that thing. This is page 55. The people see it online, right? All praises. Now read the title there on the top.
Reading from page 55.
A
Pharaoh's own monotheism.
Monotheism meaning the worship of one God. And where did they learn that from? From us.
Yes,
when we were in Egypt. Because Egypt had many idols that they were worshipping. Like the Arabs, they had an idol for every day of the year. And when they came to cross with, they crossed paths with the Israelites, our forefathers, they also started to say, no, we're pushing monotheism, the worship of one God. Then they introduce that black rock called Allah. You understand? These nations, man, they have no gods. They have idols, whom they worship. Now read that. Watch this. Until the what?
Until the mid-13th century BC.
13th century BC. Go ahead.
When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt.
So guess what? They said the Exodus was what? 1225 BC. It says until the what now?
Until the mid-13th century
13th century is 1200 BC. 13th century is 1200 BC. Okay, go ahead.
When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, no other people of the ancient world had worshipped a single all-powerful God. In Egypt, as elsewhere, the people venerated many gods.
You see that? So now the Egyptians, they started to what? They also want to worship one God. Now I'm going to show you something with that. Go to page. Yes. Let me see. Go to page 57. Yeah, go to page 57. I'm going to show you something here. Because guess what? They started to introduce the worshipping of one God. But they didn't do that before. You see? They had gods for every day too. Now, is that the one? I mean, there's more pictures in that. Yeah, that's not the one. Where's the rest of the images in this? Okay, so zoom in on that, the one that I highlighted in square. I just put a square around it. You zoom in on that. That's the one we want to see. I want you to read that. So these pictures that you see here. So John, I want you to go back to page 55. Is that the one? Or page 57? Yeah, page 57. There's many images there. I want to show you that. I want those images to be captured. Now read this. This is page 57 from the same book. Okay, come on.
Reading from page 57. Fantastic gods.
You see, fantastic. They say worshipping of a fly is fantastic. Frogs, fantastic. You understand? Now read that.
Fantastic gods from Egypt's extensive pantheon.
So the white man is always glorifying Egypt because why? The white man is ruling the empire now. We are in spiritual Egypt under the white man's empire. Understand that? Okay, now read that.
During the Israelites' time of captivity in Egypt, late in the 2nd millennium BC,
go ahead.
They were confronted by an extraordinary array of gods.
Idols. In Egypt, they say extraordinary. Like there's something special about these dumb idols that they worship. There's nothing special about them. Go ahead.
Of which the 5 shown here represent but a few. The Egyptians had gods to monitor every aspect of life.
You see that? Just like the Arabs before they met with us. So the Egyptians, they did the same thing. Before we became a great nation in Egypt, guess what? There were a multitude of many gods, right? Guess what? They started when Moses showed up on the scene, Moses started talking about the Most High God of heaven and earth, the God of Israel. That's why it says, which God, Moses? In that movie, the Exodus. Go ahead.
In the course of centuries, in the roster of deities continued to grow longer as gods with new functions or physical forms. Apologies, sir. My stream cut.
Okay, come on.
Apologies, sir. The Egyptians had gods to monitor every aspect of life. In the course of centuries, the roster of deities continued to grow longer as gods with new functions or physical forms were added to the pantheon, while none of the old gods was ever discarded.
Do you see that? They never let them go. Right?
The Egyptians revised the attributes of some.
You see, they said they did what now?
Revised the attributes of some.
Watch this.
Or combined animal and human traits to form new deities to suit the people's changing needs.
That's it. Isn't that what's going on now in this the white man's kingdom? To suit the people's changing needs. Because now there's the LGBTQYZ community. You see, they keep adding a new letter to suit the people's changing needs. So now it's no longer LGBT. There's a Q now in there. There's another letter now that they're going to add, and so on and so forth. That's the same thing that was happening in Egypt. So when the LGBT community says we want this, they add a new letter. Isn't that what's happening in Egypt? The same thing that was happening back then is happening today. So where does the white man get all this from? He gets them from ancient Egypt. So the white man studies all the empires that were before, and he takes all the garbage, he brings it into his kingdom. And that's what's happening right now. Now, did we take pictures of the rest? Yeah, share them on the screen so the people may see this. In the meantime, we can read some of these. Go up. Yes, yeah, that's the one I want. Share it with the people online. I want the people to see this. Start with the first one. Zoom in. I just want the small writing next to it. No, that's not the first one. Yeah, that one. That looked like a snake. Okay, it's a little bit blurry. Okay, the people see it online now. Is it good? Okay, now read that.
It's still blurry on my side.
Is it still blurry on your side? Zoom out a little bit. Maybe it will be better. Brothers and sisters, bear with us. We're trying to get the information to you so you understand. We're having network issues, so bear with us this day. Okay?
Can't see the first word, sir.
The first word is Aton.
Yes, sir. Aton, a god of creation.
You see that thing that you see on the left? They say that's the God of creation. They say this thing that you, this idol, this dumb idol that you see on the left, that's what created the heaven and the earth. That's what they say. You understand? Then the next one. This fat demon. This is a fat thing. You see what it looks like? It's fat.
Yes.
Zoom out a little bit. Inalam Kava. He's going to tell you what is. They say this is an idol of something else. Watch this. Now read that. What does it say?
Taweret,
Taweret.
a goddess of childbirth and motherhood.
You see that? They say this is what's responsible for what? For people, sisters falling pregnant. That's what they say. Taweret. Now keep going. Yeah, this one. Catwoman. Is this not Catwoman? Catwoman was this thing. Now go ahead. Bastard. Bastard.
It's a bastard, a protector goddess of Lower Egypt.
A protector goddess of Lower Egypt. Now go on to the next one. Horus.
Horus, a sky god.
You see, that's why the Most High God, what did he do? He brought hail on earth. They say, let Horus save you. Horus did not save them. You understand? Next one. Is that a cat? What is this? You know that cat bariki minx? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
The one that don't have no feathers?
Yes, sir.
Man, that thing is disgusting. You ever seen that thing?
Yes, sir.
Yo. Now read that.
I can't see the last word, sir.
Anubis,
The last word, sir.
the god of mummification.
Yes, sir. Anubis, the god of mummification.
No, mummification.
Anubis, the god of mummification.
The mummies. You know these tombs that they be putting together?
Yes,
You
sir.
see it in the movies.
Yes, sir.
You understand? There's even a movie at Tom Cruise called The Search for a Mummy. Something of that nature. Yep. Okay, that's it on that. Now, go to Exodus 1:1 now. Exodus 1 and 1. You can take those things off the screen now. Exodus chapter 1 verse 1. Listen good.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob.
Come on.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher.
Read.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
Because Joseph was sold by his brethren to Ishmael. The damn devil. Ishmael. Hey, my friend, you see covers for the cell phone, covers. You see them in the malls. Ne? They be saying that this is they are the ones that bought Joseph. The Arabs. Boom, my so-called friend. You understand? Go ahead.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation.
Read.
And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly.
Go ahead.
And multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty.
Read.
And the land was filled with them.
Because guess what? We multiply like we're doing right now under the white man's empire. They keep killing us. We don't die. We multiply. We don't die. Because guess what? We poor. What is the thing that we do the most? We having sex with our wives. We popping babies. Yes, of course. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, because we're in captivity. We stressed out and everything. When you come home, guess what? You want the box. To comfort yourself because you are in captivity. You understand? So guess what? We don't die. We multiply. We keep making more and more babies now. You understand? Now, give me the book of Deuteronomy 26 verse 5. It says, we multiplied, we became exceeding mighty. You understand? Deuteronomy 26, read verse 5. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26, verse 5.
Come on.
And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy God,
Read.
a Syrian ready to perish was my father.
Come on.
And he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous.
So in Egypt, we became great, mighty, and populous. We were popular in Egypt.
Yes, sir.
We were mighty in Egypt. We were great in Egypt, and they got worried about us. Isn't the same thing that's happening now?
Yes, sir.
They are worried about, that's why they are trying to do population control. They say, no, when you come in, a C-section is by default. Because they know you can only have 3 babies, and that's it. You understand? They do. And after that, they're going to be tying your wife's tubes. That's what they be doing.
Yes, sir.
Population control. You understand? Go ahead.
And the Egyptians.
We became when did we become a nation? In Egypt.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Go ahead.
And the Egyptians evil entreated us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage.
They laid upon us hard bondage. Come on.
And when we cried unto the Lord God of our fathers, the Lord heard our voice.
The Lord did what?
The Lord heard our voice.
Come on.
And looked on our affliction and our labor and our oppression.
Come on.
And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand and with an outstretched arm and with great terribleness and with signs and with wonders.
Go ahead.
And has brought us into this place and hath given us this land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Which is the glory of all land. That's the land of Adam and Eve. That's the Garden of Eden, by the way. Why do you think people be fighting over? They know that's the land, that's the Garden of Eden is there in the land of Jerusalem. You understand? Now watch this. Give me the book. Go back to Exodus 1. Exodus chapter 1. Read verse 8 now. Exodus 1 verse 8.
The book of Exodus chapter 1 verse 8.
Did we transition back? Okay, come on.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Read that again.
The book of Exodus chapter 1 verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
There arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. This is the new kingdom of Egypt. It's called, was under Amos the first. This is the Pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. This is the Pharaoh of the 18th that says there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. This is Amos the first. Amos the first did not give a damn about what Joseph did in the past. You understand? He didn't give a damn about that. Because Joseph helped them when they were going, when there was a famine. So he didn't care about what Joseph, our forefather, did. No. He said, listen, these people are multiplying. They're becoming more and mightier than we. We need to deal wisely with them. Now read the Bible again. Read verse 8 and 9 together.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 8.
Read.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
You see that? He says, these people are more and they are mightier than we. Go ahead.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
You see that? Let us deal wisely with them. What did they introduce in our community? Drugs, gangsterism, Madaisi. You understand that? Abortion, slaughterhouses and whatnot. There's drugs at every corner. Guess what? There's bottle stores at every corner, but you'll never find a library. Right here in Calfontaine, guess what they're doing? They are building a new recreational facility. There's basketball courts. There's a tennis court. Right across the road, there's a school. There's a primary. It's built got tin cans. You understand? They are using containers to build the school, but on the left, they're building a recreational place. They're using bricks.
Yes, sir.
You cannot make this up, man. So the school is getting demolished on the left while people are playing basketball on the right. That's what's taking place. You understand? But where's the library? You listen, we don't even know where the library is here in the guys. We can't find it.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell you how many bottle stores and shebins are here on the road. Many. You see how these nations deal wisely with us? How the black men don't make no guns? Who's introducing guns in the black community? The Ishmaelites, the Arabs. They're the ones that giving black men guns to shoot each other. While they continue to rob us and poison us, they come and they put poison in mazimbas for the school children when they go to school. Look what happened in Soweto. You understand? But my friend, these are not our friends. These are our enemies, man. And we must not trust our enemies, the Lord says. Give me that in Sirach 12 real quick. We're coming back. You know what? Give me Psalms 83. That's better. The Lord told us that, listen, man, we've got, the white man is at the top of these nations that are planning and plotting evil against us. The white man is the top of the list. You understand? That the Most High God of heaven and earth will send his son Christ to come and kill. And we want to live to see that thing.
Yes, sir.
Give me that in Psalms 83. Read verse 1, man.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Read.
Keep not thou silent, O God.
We're dealing with what we read in Exodus 1 when it says, let us deal wisely with them. This is how the nation deal wisely with us. They plan and plot and scheme on how to destroy black people. Go ahead.
Keep not thou silent, O God.
Read.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Come on.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
You see that? An angry gathering. They come together. The nations, they gather together like an angry mob. That's what the United Nations is all about. The United Nations is an angry mob of the heathens plotting and scheming on how to destroy black people wherever we scattered. Read.
And they that hate thee.
They that what?
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
The people that hate God have lifted up the head. That they are the Jews, that God is white, that the angels are white, that Christ is white. They've lifted up the head that they are the Jews of this Bible. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
That's why it says, come on, let us deal wisely with them. That's the crafty counsel. The crafty counsel is them dealing wisely with us. And them, because remember, the nations know we are the Jews. But in the media, they still say black people, Africans, black people, Bantus, Xhosas, Peris. They dividing us. They keep pushing that garbage so that what? We remain divided and we remain hating each other while they rob us collectively. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Because we are the hidden ones. Nobody knows that we are the Jews of the Bible. Nobody knows that when you talk about Moses in the Bible, that's our great-grandfather. When you talk about Joshua, that's our great-grandfather. They don't want you to know that. Read.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's why nobody remembers who we are. Nobody remembers. The books about what's written, they are hidden. Now the Bible is being now the white man is putting out new versions of the Bible, New King James, NIV, this and this, NSV, NS this. They say no, KJV, the English is too complicated. What is complicated about the word black? Nothing. There's nothing complicated about the word black. But the white man replaced it, says no. Don't say black, say dark. I am dark. Not I am black and beautiful. No, I'm dark and lovely. So what does that mean? I'm dark and lovely. You're not going to understand what it's saying, man. It's not direct. But when you say I'm black and beautiful, it's like, what? I'm going to read it again and again and again and again. But when you say I'm dark and lovely, that don't mean nothing. The black man will just read over it. You understand? Read.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
That's the United Nations, the European Union. Read.
They are confederate against thee.
These nations, they hate our guts. Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
You see, the white man is the first one on the list, Edom. So the white man is the one that is on the list of the people, the nations that come together to destroy us in our communities. That's why they make sure that they give black men drugs. They introduce cigarettes in our communities to get high and to be addicted. They do all this to do what? To make sure that you don't rise up and rule over them. They don't want that. That's why they do all this so that we fight amongst ourselves. Read on.
The Ishmaelites.
The Arabs. But my friend, this is them. Go ahead.
Of Moab.
That's the Chinese, Moab. Read.
And the Hagarenes.
These are Hamites. Come on.
Gebal. And Ammon.
These are the Japanese now. Come on.
And Amalek.
White people that call themselves Jewish. In Israel today, they say, no, we are Jewish people. Yeah, they are Jewish people. They are not the Jews of the Bible. Those are Amalekites. The people that the Lord told King Saul to go and kill.
Yes, sir.
And King Saul took their best sheep and goats. And now the prophet Samuel said, what is that thing that I'm hearing in the crawl? Why am I hearing meh up in there? You understand? He said, so I told you to kill the Amalekites and also kill everything of theirs. When you took some of them, he says, this is the best sheep. What for? That's why Saul was saying, listen, you're not going to be king because you didn't follow the instructions, man. Go ahead.
The Philistines.
That's the Hamites that you were seeing. Paul Kagame. That's them. Read.
With the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them.
That's the Assyrians. Come on.
They have holpen the children of Lot.
Do no. He says Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. That's it on that. Now I just wanted to show you that. What did I say I want? Did I say get something for me? Not yet. Okay. Because I'm looking at something that you're going to get for me next. Okay. Now go back. Exodus 1. Exodus 1. Read verse 10.
The book of Exodus chapter 1 verse 10.
Come on.
Come on. Let us deal wisely with them.
It says, come on. Let us deal wisely with them. Read.
Lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
Watch this.
And so get them up out of the land.
Let's get them out of this place. Let's plan evil against them and on how we're going to destroy them. You see, the nations are always planning and plotting against us. And right now, they have the greatest weapon they use against us. You know what that is called? The media. Radio. Social media. You understand? Television. That's why you've got so many. Why do we need to have so many of them? Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime. What's the other one? You understand? There's another one in Mzansi now. It's Showmax. You've got Showmax. There's so many, man. Why do they have all these things? To keep black people entertained. As long as you are entertained, you're not going to think. Because remember during COVID, people started thinking, man. Because now you're cooped up in the house. You have a lot to think about. That's why black men and black women started to wake up to the truth. Some people woke up to this truth because of the COVID. You understand? Now you cooped up in the house, you don't know what to do with yourself. Now people started researching stuff. Wait, what? They started looking up, Googling things on YouTube and whatnot. People started researching, man, during COVID. The white man is like, nah, you need to go back to the office. This thing of working from home needs to stop. You understand? Because they know when you're working, because people started many businesses when they're working from home. The white man didn't like that, to say, listen, he's working from home, he's starting a business while he's working for us. No, we want hybrid. 2 weeks in the office, 3 weeks at home. Jiggy, they say, no, we want you full time in the office. Because they know that the most dangerous thing you can have is a black man who thinks. You really got problems, man. But as long as you keep the black man in this rat race, he's always thinking about work. He never has time to think about, to sit down, to really, take a step back and think about how do I change my nation? Why is my nation like this? They don't give you time to do that. You understand? So that's why. That's why it says, let us deal wisely with them. That's how they deal wisely with us. Now, I want you to go to that link that I sent of Amos the First. This is during the 18th dynasty, because that's the time when we left. The 18th dynasty, that's when we left. You understand? That's during the time of the Exodus, when we left captivity, when the Lord delivered us through destruction and death of our enemies. Then we got delivered. You understand? Now, I don't want a lot of stuff. I just want, you can't make this up. Yeah, just read that Amos the First on Wikipedia. The people see it online. Oh, praises. Come on.
Reading from wikipedia.com.
.org. Come on.
Amos the First.
Amos the First.
Amos the First. Sometimes written as Amoses or Amis, meaning aha, the moon.
No, meaning la, the moon. The moon. Wow. Who calls their child that? The moon? Go ahead. Is born what?
Is born.
Was a let me read it. Amos the First. You understand? Is born. It says Amos the First was a pharaoh and founder of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, classified as the first dynasty of the new kingdom of Egypt. That's why it says there arose a new king over Egypt who knew not Joseph. This is it right here. The first dynasty of the new kingdom of Egypt, the era in which ancient Egypt achieved the peak of its power. You know why? Because Israelites were there. Because why? We built their empires, man, through blood, sweat, and tears. You understand? Now go up. Because Chamos, during the 17th dynasty, Chamos was the one that expelled the Hyksos, shepherd kings. That's why when Joseph said to his father, says, when Pharaoh asks you, what is your occupation? Say, we are shepherds. Because before that, what was happening? The Hyksos were giving the Egyptians problems because they were shepherd kings. They were the rebels that were invading the Egyptian empire. So they hated them. You understand? Okay, go up. I just want to see who succeeded Amos the First. Go up. Yes, Amenhotep. Click that. Amenhotep is the one that succeeded. Amenhotep the First. He succeeded Amos the First, which was that was the new king over Egypt that rose, that knew not Joseph. Okay. Okay, so Amenhotep the First. He's the one that came after Amos the First. Now go up. We want to see who succeeded Amenhotep the First. This is during the 18th dynasty. Thutmose the First. Click it. Okay, you good to read now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read that. Thutmose the what?
Thutmose the First.
Thutmose the First. He says he was the what? Was the third what? It's right there.
Yes, sir.
Read it.
Was the third pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
Okay, let's see who succeeded Thutmose the First. Go up.
Thutmose the Second.
Thutmose the Second. Okay, come on.
Was the fourth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
That's it. Go up. Let's see who succeeded him. These are the pharaohs of the 18th dynasty where Israel was. Hatshepsut.
Hatshepsut was the great royal wife of Pharaoh Thutmose II, and the 5th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
So you see, so he said Hatshepsut was the wife of Pharaoh, the great royal wife of Pharaoh Thutmose II. So she was a pharaoh. Okay, come on. Let's see who succeeded her. Go up.
Thutmose III, sometimes called Thutmose the Great, was the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty.
Okay, that's it. Go up. Read that. What does it say?
Amenhotep II
Okay, open it up. Yeah, read that.
was the 7th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
Okay, let's see who succeeded him.
Thutmose IV was the 8th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
Okay, that's it on that. Go up. Amenhotep III.
Amenhotep III was the 9th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty.
Go ahead. Okay, come on. Akhenaten.
Akhenaten was
the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty.
The 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see who succeeded him. These are the Egyptian pharaohs, by the way, that was ruling during the days when we were there. You understand? For 400 years. Okay, come on.
Smenkare.
Go ahead. Was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh of unknown background who lived and ruled during the Amarna period of the 18th dynasty of Egypt. Okay, come on. Let's see who succeeded him.
Sure.
Nefertiti.
Nefertiti.
Read that. Was a name used to refer to a female king who reigned towards the end of the Amarna period during the 18th dynasty. Hey, by the way, you know, today, this morning, I saw the video, I think, what's her name? Tandi Somazwai. She was on Newsroom. They call her King Ta. Did you know that? This is crazy. I didn't know she's a lesbian now. They call her King Ta. He says the children call her Auntie King Ta. I'm like, what? You cannot make this up. Man, this is crazy. Okay? Yeah, keep going, man. Hey. Imtolaga James. Go up. Let's see who succeeded Nenfere, whatever. Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun
was an ancient pharaoh, Egyptian pharaoh who ruled during that time, 1332 to 1323 BC, during the late 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt. The late 18th dynasty. Okay, go ahead. Let's see who succeeded Tutankhamun. AY. Click that.
AY was the
penultimate pharaoh of ancient Egypt's 18th dynasty. Okay, let's go up now. Let's see who succeeded AY. Horemheb.
Horemheb
Mhm.
was the last pharaoh of the 18th dynasty.
Was the what now?
Was the last pharaoh of the 18th dynasty.
Was the last pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, 1550 to 1292 BC. Okay, go up. Let's see who succeeded Horemheb. Yeah, click that. Ramses the first.
Ramses the first was the founding pharaoh of ancient Egypt's 19th dynasty.
You see that? So in the 19th dynasty, that's when we left. You understand? But keep going. Let's see who succeeded Ramses the first. Okay? Now, this is now, during the time of Ramses the first, now enters the 19th dynasty. You understand? Now, give me the book of Exodus 1. Read verse 10 now. Read verse 11. Exodus 1 verse 11.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 11.
Watch this.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Watch this.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities,
Treasure cities.
Pithom and Ramses.
And what?
And Ramses.
And what?
And Ramses.
Pithom and Ramses. Because it was named after Ramses the first. You understand? But I want to show you something. Ramses the first is Ramses the Great. You understand? Now keep going. Leo, who succeeded? You see, the one that succeeded Ramses the first is Seri the first. Seri the first is the one that when Moses killed the Egyptian and ran, that's when Seri the first was the ruler. And guess what? Who was going to succeed him? Ramses the second. Ramses the second is the one that's when we left under Ramses the second. Now let's see who succeeded Seri the first. Where we at? Come on, let's click that. Let's go to that. Yeah. Let's see who succeeded Seri the first. Who's that? Read that.
Ramses the second.
Ramses the second. Come on.
Was an Egyptian pharaoh. He was the third ruler of the 19th dynasty.
Read.
Along with Thutmose the third.
Along with Thutmose the what? The what?
The third.
The third. Go ahead.
Of the 18th dynasty. He is often regarded as the greatest, most celebrated, most powerful pharaoh of the new kingdom.
Of the new kingdom, which is the 19th dynasty. He's the one that put the oppression on a whole new level. You understand? And that's when we cried for us to get delivered out of that hellhole. You understand? Now go to Exodus 1. Exodus 1, read verse 11. Again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 11.
Now this is during the time of Ramses the second. Read.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
This is under Ramses the second. Go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
Read.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
Read.
In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
You see that? So now, go to Exodus 2. Exodus chapter 2. Read verse 23. I'm going to show you something. What we are going to read about here, we are reading about Seri the first when he died. After Moses killed that Egyptian that was, oppressing an Israelite. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 23.
Read.
And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died.
This is Seri the first. Okay, come on.
And the children of Israel sighed by reason of of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the hard bondage.
By reason of the bondage. Come on, man.
By reason of the bondage.
Read.
And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham.
You see that? He remembered his covenant with Abraham when we were complaining when we were slaves in Egypt. So it is today. So do not disconnect what happened in Egypt to what's going on now. Read.
With Isaac and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel.
Read.
And God had respect unto them.
He had respect unto them. Why? Because he made a covenant with our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why he looked upon us and our cry, he heard our cries, and he respect unto us because of the covenant he made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, now, give me the book, Exodus 2 now. No, let me see. Give me Exodus 3 and 1. This is now after Moses has grown. The Lord is calling Moses to come and what? And deliver the people out. Read that. Exodus 3 and 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 1.
Read.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law,
Read.
the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb.
Read.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire, and out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt.
The bush was on fire, but the bush was not being consumed by the fire. Who does that, man? The Most High God of heaven and earth. Go ahead.
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am.
Here am I. Go ahead.
And he said, Draw not nigh
Don't come close. Come on.
Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Because he was saying, listen, agree with your shoes, you attract garbage wherever you walk. That's why when you enter into somebody's house, there's a door carpet. There's a doormat where you wipe your shoes. So Moses was told, listen, everything that you're being attracting, all the garbage you learned in Egypt, you must let it go. I'm going to teach you again anew. Because you are not an Egyptian, you are a Jew, and Israel from the tribe of Levi. I'm going to use you to deliver my people out of captivity. That's what he was saying. Read.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Watch this, come on.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
Go ahead.
For I know their sorrows.
The Lord says he knows our sorrows, man. So don't think when you're going through hard times and you keeping God's commandments, don't think the Lord don't see that. The Lord see that thing, man. And he sees that you're trying to glorify him and to please him. The Lord will bless you. Understand that. The Most High is not unjust. Read.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land.
What verse you at?
Verse 8, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 8.
Read.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Read.
Unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites,
The Hittites,
and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
Read. Hamites. These are Hamites. So when we arrived in we kicked them out. Under Moses, under Joshua, under King David.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Read.
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me.
You see that? So if we don't cry in captivity that we tired of this, we busy joining political parties thinking the Malema Julius member will deliver us from slavery, you fooling yourself. The Lord is not going to hear nothing you say. You understand? Because the Lord said we must cry unto him. He didn't say cry to Julius Malema and be holding the EFF manifesto. No. He said cry unto him and read this Bible and apply it. That's what the Lord wants. Read.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
You see what the Egyptians was doing? They oppressed us. Read.
Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
You see what we were in Egypt? We were slaves. We see what we are in spiritual Egypt now under the white man. We are slaves this day. Give me Exodus 7 and 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh.
I have made thee a what?
I have made thee a god to Pharaoh.
It says, I've made you a god to Pharaoh. Go ahead.
And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
You know what it means when it says, I've made thee a god to Pharaoh? Give me that in 2nd Ezra 1 verse 13. In the Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra 1 verse 13. 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 13.
Second book of Ezra, chapter 1, verse 13.
Come on.
I led you through the sea,
The Red Sea.
and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage.
Read.
I gave you Moses for a leader.
For a what?
For a leader.
That's why it says, I've made thee a God unto Pharaoh. Moses was a leader. You understand? A leader, a God, meaning a judge. Read.
And Aaron for a priest.
And Aaron for a prophet. So go back. Exodus 7, read verse 1 again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a God to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Read.
But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you,
It says, Pharaoh will not listen unto you, Moses. Read.
that I may lay my hand upon Egypt.
So, brothers, did we transition back? Or are we still looking at Ramses? Okay, all praises. Come on.
But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you,
He says, but Pharaoh is not going to listen to you, Moses. Come on.
that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies.
My what?
Mine armies.
Brothers, I need you men to understand. We are God's army. There's no two ways about it, man. We are God's army. Understand that. You are not here to become a professional student. Listen, man. You are here to become a soldier. You hit the streets and teach your people God's laws. You're not going to be a go Sunday, come to Sunday school. No. This is not Sunday school. You are here to learn. We hit the streets. We wake up the 12 tribes of Israel. Boots on the ground. Read that verse again, verse 4. Come on.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 4.
Read.
But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you,
Go ahead.
that I may lay my hand upon Egypt,
Read.
and bring forth mine armies.
My what?
Mine armies.
An army. So how can we be an army? Rinalemi cover. What the hell is this? We cannot be an army. Rinalemi cover. No. We must work on our covers. We must work on our fitness. Listen, we are unfit. We need to hit the streets, man. Go ahead.
And my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt,
With what?
by great judgment.
By what now?
By great judgment.
By great judgments. Now watch this. Give me the book of Sirach 39 verse 28. One more again. Sirach 39 verse 28. It says by great judgment. Is I'm going to deliver my people out of Egypt, but I'm going to do it by great judgment. Destruction. That's what the Lord is saying. Come on.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Read.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
For what?
For vengeance.
For vengeance. Come on.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Read.
In the time of destruction they pour out their force.
Come on.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
Come on.
Fire and hail and famine and death.
And death. Go ahead.
All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Punishing the Egyptians to destruction. Guess what? This is twofold. Punishing the wicked. Who's the main wicked on this earth? The white man. He's the wicked on this earth. All the evil that is happening on this earth is because of the white man. Understand that, man? And they're going to be saying, no, black people are evil. Black people are bad. They are the ones that are doing evil behind closed doors while we don't see them. And in the morning when they wake up, they practice the evil they planned the night before. That's what they do. Give me that in Micah 2 and 1. Don't think I'm making this up. Let's read the Bible. Micah 2 and 1. I love this verse. Read that thing for me. Watch this. Just find the book of Jonah. You'll find the book of Micah. Micah 2 and 1.
Yes, sir.
After Micah is the book of Nahum. Come on.
Sir. The book of Micah chapter 2 verse 1.
Read.
Woe to them that devise iniquity.
Meaning what? They come up with things to bring sin. They devise iniquity, sin. Read.
And work evil upon their beds.
You see, they work evil upon their beds. When we pray to the Lord before we sleep, they pray to Satan. Read.
When the morning is light.
When the morning comes, what do?
They practice
They
it.
what?
They practice
They
it.
practice it. Come on.
Because it is in the power of their hands.
It is in the power of their hands. You see this? Because they are ruling over us right now. That's why it says, because the evil is in the power of their hand. Spiritual wickedness in high places. You understand that? Now, let's get into the plagues. Give me Exodus 7 verse 17. Put the first plague up on the screen. Exodus 7 verse 17. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. There be plagues that are created for vengeance.
Yes, sir.
Exodus chapter 7 verse 17.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 17.
Read.
That saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
Mm.
Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river.
Read.
And they shall be turned to blood.
They shall be what?
And they shall be turned to blood.
Rivers turning to blood. You see on the screen there? Rivers turning. That's what the Lord did. Rivers turned to blood. Because why? There was fish in there. You understand? There was crocodiles up in there that the Egyptians worshipped. That's why when you travel Baribakwena, you see these tall gates, that be them. Bariana Dikwena. They worship crocodiles. Yes, that's them. Those are ancient Egyptians too. Come on, read.
And the fish that is in the river shall die.
The fish that is in the river shall die. Go ahead.
And the river shall stink.
Mm.
And the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river.
You see that? Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, say.
What verse you at?
Verse 19 now, sir.
Okay, that's it on that. Let me see. Yeah. They keep reading. Verse 19.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers,
Read.
and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water.
Meaning everything that had water, the water was bloody. Doesn't matter when you open the tap, you went into the river, the pond, the streams, everywhere it was blood. Read.
That they may become blood, that they may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone.
Meaning everywhere. That means what? The people could not drink water. The Most High, listen, the Most High don't play, man. When there's no water, what are you going to do? You can't even go to the shops and buy it. That's how bad it was in Egypt, man. Now, next plague. Exodus 8 verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8, verse 1.
Come on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and say unto him,
Read.
thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs.
He says, I'm going to smite all your borders with frogs. Now imagine just this room. The room is full of frogs and we're up in here. What you going to do, man? The frogs, and it's not this small of frogs, it's big, ginormous frogs that you've never seen. You understand? Go ahead. Come on.
And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly.
Abundantly. Come on.
We shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bed chamber, and upon thy bed,
Read.
and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both on thee and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds,
Read.
and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt.
Read.
And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt.
And covered the land of Egypt. Let's go to the next plague. Exodus 8 verse 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8, verse 16.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become the lice throughout,
that it may become lice.
that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt.
Lice. So these are, listen, this is the what the gods, the lice is unclean. So when you have lice, you're unclean. That means you don't bath, any of those things. So guess what? Because why? They trusted that, listen, there's a goddess that is responsible for making sure that they are clean. He said, okay, we'll see. Read. Verse 18.
Yes, sir. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lies, but they could not. So there were lies upon men and upon beasts.
There were lies upon men and upon beasts. Get the definition of lies. Look it up. Lies. These are the lies. This is what the white man was eating during the Caucasus, in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. They talk about they are the Vikings. How? When they were eating lies during those days. Did we find it? Okay, come on. What is lies? The idols of uncleanness. Yeah, that's lies right there. You see that thing? Lies. Now, go up. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it. Now, go up to the, the definition. Yeah, go up. Yeah, click that. Lies, symptoms and causes. They're at the Mayo Clinic. Yeah, click that thing. Symptoms and causes of lies. Let's see what this is. This goes back to uncleanness. Yeah. Now read that.
Reading from mayoclinic.org. Lice are tiny wingless insects that feed on human blood.
You see that? They feed on human blood. They give you the heebie-jeebies. Go ahead. Come on.
Lice spread from person to person through close contact and by sharing belongings.
Go ahead.
There are 3 types of lice.
Go up. Let's see. Oh. Come on, man.
Head lice.
Head lice.
Found on the scalp. They are easiest to see at the nape of the neck and over the ears.
You see, I've seen this on white people. They be falling.
Yes, sir.
You understand? You see this white thing be falling? That's lice. And when it fell during the Caucasus, they ate it. Come on, body lice.
Body lice that live in clothing and bedding and move onto the skin to feed.
Yo.
Body lice most often affect people who are unable to bathe.
What do you mean unable? What you talk about unable? Go ahead.
Who are unable to bathe or wash clothing often.
You see? Go ahead.
Such as homeless people.
Go up.
Public lice.
Pubic.
Oh, apologies, sir. Pubic lice.
Pubic lice.
Also called crabs.
Crabs. Go ahead.
That occur on the skin and hair of the pubic area.
You see, that's why Kevin Samuel says, wash your nuts. That's why he says, spend some quality time there. Just be a good 2 minutes. You understand? Sit there and just be washing the stuff. Shots fired. Come on, brother. You sit. Listen, take some good 5 minutes. Not 2. 5 minutes. And wash your behind too. You're not going to tell your officer, go down there, but you don't wash down there. The hell is this? You must wash. Otherwise, you'll never enjoy. Come on, man. Shots fired. Read the Bible, man.
Less often.
Woo-wee. Sorry, brothers, I just went left. Bring me back. Bring me back. Bring me back, man. Eish. Wow. Read the Bible.
Less often, they may be found on coarse body hair, such as chest hair, eyebrows, or eyelashes.
You see, but that's not pubic. Oh, less often. Okay, that's it. That's it on that. That's it on that. You find yourself scratching every now and again. You may have lice. I've seen people, you standing on the queue when we're going to catch taxis and whatnot. Mutu busy. He thinks we don't see him. What busy was scratcher? You got lice. You understand? I've seen this brother, I think even in the ears it goes, the hair in the ears. This brother, he was on the street. The ones that be they be selling on the streets next to all the robots. Listen, man. You remember, I was traveling with Soldier Samuel. We're going to, was it Cambridge or something? Yo, the brother busy he was even while he was scratching his ear. I'm like, he was enjoying himself so much that he even got hit back. Yo, I could not believe it, man. Yo, yeah, ne, you can't make this up. Okay, let's go back. Exodus 8 verse 20. Let's go to the fourth plague.
The book of Exodus, chapter 8, verse 20.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses,
Come on.
Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water. And say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
Let my people go, that they may serve me. Come on.
Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee,
Read.
and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are.
You see that? Go ahead.
And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
So flies, that's Beelzebub. Flies. You see, some look at the flies, man. These were not small, these were flies that could bite you. A big fly as big as camel. Just be zooming in. You understand? Bite you and then you just drop dead and die. You understand? Now, give me the book of Sirach 10 and 1, man. Sirach 10 and 1. Is that 10 and 1 what I want? Hold on a second. No, that's not the one. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 16 verse 9. I need to come back to this.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 9.
Go ahead.
For them, the bitings of grasshoppers and flies
And
killed,
what?
And flies killed.
You see what? I'm telling you, like I'm showing, the flies that the Lord made during that time, it wasn't a normal fly, man.
Yes, sir.
Which of you have you ever been bitten by a fly? And if it did, who died? The flies that the Lord made during those days, they were so deadly that it bit you, you drop dead. Read the Bible again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 9.
Go ahead.
For them, the bitings of grasshoppers and flies killed, neither was there found any remedy for their life, for they were worthy to be punished by such.
They were worthy to be what?
To be punished by such.
They were worthy to be punished by such. Okay, is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. But guess what? The Most High God made the flies that were able to kill, to bite and kill you. What type of a fly is that? A new type of fly on the earth. They look like birds, man. Do you see them? Look at them, man. Come on, read that. Ecclesiastes 10 and 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 1.
Read.
Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor.
To do what now?
To send forth a stinking savor.
A stinking savor. Come on.
So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor.
Now that's another thing. Now that's some heavy stuff. That's what we're going to deal with when we're dealing with the men's conference. But the point here I'm showing you is that when there's flies, there's a smell. So the people that were bitten by these big flies, what do you think they had inside of them? Maggots. They had maggots coming out of them. You understand? It wasn't a small maggot. You understand? Now, give me the book, Exodus 9, verse 1. The fifth plague, Exodus 9 and 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 1.
Watch this.
Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus says the Lord God of the Hebrews,
Read.
Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let my people go, and wilt hold them still,
Read.
behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field.
So, look up those cows of Ramaphosa. Yeah, the cattle, the cows of Ramaphosa. I guess that's what white people call him. Ramaphosa. Now read the Bible again. Finish that verse. What verse you at?
The book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 3. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses,
Read.
upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain.
Disease. The Lord says, I'm going to send. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring diseases upon the cattle of Egypt. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt.
Read.
And there shall nothing die of all that is in the children of Israel.
You see, that's him right there. This is Ramaphosa. Look at the cows. You see, these are the cows that they had in Egypt. These are, even today, you see, these people like your Paul Kagame, these are the type of cattle they have. These are the normal cattle that we have in the Bundus. We never had cattle like this. This is the type of cattle they worshipped too. You understand? They say, no, these cattle are so beautiful and whatnot. Worship. Exodus 20 verse 3, breaking the first commandment. Read.
And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow. And all the cattle of Egypt died. But out of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one.
You see that? Because we didn't have cattle like this. Go ahead. Verse 8 now. The sixth plague. Watch this.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron,
come on.
take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh.
Read.
And it shall become small dust in the land of Egypt. And there shall be a boil breaking forth.
There's gonna be a what now?
And shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon men and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt.
Read.
And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. And Moses sprinkled up toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with flames upon men and upon beasts.
Go ahead.
And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians.
So guess what? Everybody had boils. Even their cattle, their livestock, they all had boils upon them. They were sick. So now imagine, because boils, they make your body to be on fire. Because it's a boil. Like a boil is like, you know, when hot water steps on you, boiling water, what happens? You get a boil. So now imagine you've got all those boils throughout your body. How do you sit to go to the bathroom? Because you must think about these things. And when it pops, what happens? Because it's an injury. It's a bruise. And it's not healed yet. It's still fresh. The popping of it is painful. You understand? The ballooning of it is painful. The popping of it is painful too. You can't sit, you can't eat. So the boils are in your mouth also. How you swallow? It was bad. Because you really need to imagine how bad it was. It was terrible. You understand? That's why it says, the Lord says, I'm going to come and judge the Egyptians with great judgment. You understand? Now, give me the next plague. Because remember, Kitesh is the goddess of health and beauty. That's why the Lord put boils on their skins and all that. Because they thought that the Kitesh was going to deliver them from the boils. Because again, when you have boils all over, the beauty is gone.
Yes, sir.
So today, the makeup industry and whatnot is a big industry. Guess what? They need Kitesh. Ne? They worship Kitesh. They need the Lord to bring some boils.
Yes, sir.
That's what they're looking for. But you know how the Lord brings boils today? He just bends your skin. You see how many of our sisters now get two-tone? Because of this makeup they be putting on their faces, the bleaching of the skin, the pimples and whatnot. Yes, it's because why? They worship Kitesh. You worship Kitesh, the Lord gonna show you. You see, that's it right there. Kitesh, the goddess of health and beauty, heavenly goddess. You understand? And you see how Kitesh, you see this, you see how she's dressed? She's dressed in nothing. What is she wearing? Nothing. That's why today you see sisters, they leave the house half naked. They worship Kitesh. This is the god, the goddess whom they worship. Okay? Now let's go to the next one. The next plague, Exodus 9 verse 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 16.
Read.
And in every deed of this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
Go ahead.
As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go.
Watch this.
Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as has not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now.
The Lord said, listen, the type of hail I'm going to bring upon this land is nothing that has never been seen before, ever. The Lord says, I'm going to bring forth hail. That hail was mingled with fire. You understand that? Is that it on that? Keep reading, man. Come on.
Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field. For upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field,
watch this,
and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die.
They shall what?
And they shall die.
And they gonna die. Now, keep reading. Jump down to verse 22. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Come on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast and upon every herb of the field, throughout the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground.
You see that? Fire and hail. Remember, fire and hail, this is fire and water. They two don't mix. But on that day, they were able to mix and mingle for the purpose of destroying the Egyptians. Read.
And the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail, and the fire mingled with hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in the land of Egypt.
In all the land
of Egypt, since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field.
Go ahead.
Both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb of the field, and brake every tree of the field.
Go ahead.
Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail.
You see that? Because the Lord was looking after us. Now, give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon 19:18. Listen good. Wisdom of Solomon 19 verse 18. We're coming back.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19, verse 18.
Listen good.
For the elements were changed in themselves by a kind of harmony.
Meaning the fire and the hail were harmonious on that day. Go ahead.
Like as in a sultry notes change the name of the tune, and yet are always sounds.
Meaning you can still get music out of it. Read.
Which may well be perceived by the sight of the things that have been done.
Watch this.
For earthly things were turned into watery, and the things that before swam in the water now went upon the ground.
Watch this.
The fire had power in the water.
The fire had power in the water. Listen, man, we're dealing with the God of Israel, man. Read.
Forgetting his own virtue.
Forgetting his own quenching nature. Go ahead.
And the water forgot his own quenching nature.
You see that? Because the water put the fire out. On that day, that didn't happen. The water and the fire were working in harmony to destroy the Egyptians, man. Read.
On the other side, the flames wasted not the flesh of the corruptible living things, though they walked therein, neither melted they the icy kind of heavenly meat that was of nature apt to melt.
Because naturally they're supposed to melt, but they didn't on that day. They did not. Give me that in Sirach 39 verse 29 now. Next verse. We were reading it earlier. Now you're going to understand. Actually, read 28 and 29 together. Ecclesiasticus.
Yes, sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Read.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
You see that? We just read about them spirits which were created for vengeance. Come on.
which in their fury
Mm.
lay on sore strokes.
Read.
In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Listen good.
Fire and hail,
Stop. Fire and hail. That's the plague. The 7th plague. You understand? It was fire and hail. Go ahead.
and famine
Mm.
and death.
Mm.
All these were created for vengeance.
They were created for what?
All these were created for vengeance.
So the fire and the hail, the 7th plague, they said these were created for vengeance. You understand? Now give me Exodus 9 verse 22. No, we read that already. Exodus 10 verse 12.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts,
Read.
that they may come up upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, even all that
Remember, is fire, hail, famine. What brings the famine? The locusts. The locusts, they're going to eat all the crops. If the crops are gone, there's a famine. You understand that? Read.
even all that the hail have left.
Read.
And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land.
The only problem with this is that why are the people white? Why are the people white, man? The Egyptians was white. Hi. Put another one, the right one, man. Why are these looking like white looking Arabs here? Yes. Now read the Bible again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 18.
Read.
And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day, and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locust.
Go ahead.
And the locust went up over all the land of Egypt, and rested in all the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they.
Very grievous were they. Come on. Remember, these grasshoppers, guess what they did? They were biting too. When they bit you, you drop dead. The same way with the flies. Go ahead.
Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees.
Go ahead.
Which the hail had left.
Which the what now?
Which the hail had left.
Remember, it says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Fire, hail, famine. Which the hail hath left. So the hail came and destroyed the crops, but it was not enough. The locusts had to come to create the famine. Read.
And there remained not any green thing in the trees, or in the herbs of the field.
Go ahead.
Through all the land of Egypt.
Throughout the land of Egypt. Give me the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 38. Deuteronomy 28, verse 38. I'm almost done. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 38.
Come on.
Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in.
Watch this.
For the locust shall consume it.
The locust shall what?
For the locust shall consume it.
Because the locust, they cause a famine. Read. Is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me the book of First Kings. Chapter 8, verse 37.
First book of Kings, chapter 8, verse 37.
Watch this.
If there be in the land famine.
If there be in the land what?
If there be in the land famine.
If there be in the land famine, come on.
If there be pestilence, blasting,
Go ahead.
mildew, locust.
What?
Locust.
What?
Locust.
You see what causes famine? Locusts. Read.
Or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness,
Whatsoever what?
Whatsoever plague.
Whatsoever plague. You see, famine is a plague. Famine is a plague. Come on.
whatsoever sickness there be.
You see, when there's a famine, guess what? The plague is the famine which causes diseases and sickness. When the sickness came, which was the COVID, there was no famine in the land. People lost jobs, people lost houses, people lost everything and their lives too, and family members. You understand? People were struggling. Why? Because there was a plague. That plague caused the famine, and it caused sicknesses and death. Who does all these? The Lord of heaven and earth. You see, this is what we need to understand, man. Listen, the God we serve, the original OG. Understand that? Now, give me the book. Go back. Exodus, and now give me Exodus 10 verse 21.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 21.
Come on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven,
Read.
that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt.
So now this is the what? The ninth plague. Darkness throughout the land of Egypt. You know what's crazy? We were having load shedding. People were quoting Exodus. You can't make this up. You know, for the first time, our people know how now to open the Bible. They say, no, you see, there'll be land of darkness. There's going to be darkness, load shedding. I'm like, really? Load shedding, really? Come on, man. Verse 21.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 21.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, and there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
He says, this darkness is going to be felt. You are going to feel it, man. That's what he's saying. Read.
And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days.
Read.
They saw not one another.
So when they said, listen, there's going to be a power outage for 3 days, they said, they be quoting Exodus 10, verse 23. Say, you see, I've been seeing this thing, people be forwarding them to us. I'm like, what the hell is this? Read.
They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
You see that? The children of Israel had light in their dwellings. This light right here in these last days talk about what? The laws of God. God's commandments. That's the light. The commandment is a lamp and the law is light. The law is light. That's Proverbs 6:23. So now, give me Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 17 verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 1.
Come on.
For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnatured souls have erred.
The unnatured souls have erred. That's the Egyptians. Come on.
For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation,
the unrighteous men that thought to oppress the holy nation was the Egyptians. Read.
They being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness.
You see what the Lord did? He made them the prisoners of darkness for 3 days. Read.
And fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence.
Go ahead, watch this.
For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a